So hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be telling you how to make yourself an action figure. By the way, my videos are not scripted, so I may hesitate between the video, so don't mind that. And if you end up enjoying the video, a like to the video would be awesome. And if you want more content just like this, a sub to the channel would be wonderful. So with no further delay, let's get started with the video.
This will be a series of 4 videos, and these videos will guide you on how to make yourself your own action figure. If you want to know about how to make your action figure in detail, you can check out Patriot's channel. He will tell you how to make your action figure in detail, which is very good if you want to make an action figure better. So for making your own action figure, you will need a lot of paper, tape and scissors, craft glue, hot glue which is optional, and a double-sided tape. This is a very special kind of double-sided tape which will leave a resin on the surface you stick it on, which helps you to stick the paper on itself, just like this. Before you start making your action figure, you should have a reference image of the character you will be making. Plus, the reference image should be the same height of the character's height you want the character to be. So for making your character, you should be just knowing about one paper crafting, which is a T-joint. So the T-joint is a small tube of paper which is then wrapped by another tube of paper and stuck together. The tube in outside is a little bit smaller than the tube inside, and I'll tell you why we did so. Then we stick a small piece of tape on the joint. This tape prevents the inner edges of the paper to not get stuck while the joint is moving. Then you have to take a small piece of paper with double-sided tape on it and then roll it around the pivot with the double-sided tape outside. This will create the rotating part for the T-joint, just like this. After that, you have to take another piece of paper, roll it. After making this tube of paper, you have to stick it with this tube of paper, just like this, with another piece of paper. After bonding these two pieces together with tape, paper and glue, it will look something like this. Now you have to take a piece of paper, just like we did with the rolling part of the pivot, and then make a rolling part for this tube also. After making this tube and putting it on the T-joint, now your joints will have two motions, the bend and the swivel. Now the final step is cut a card of paper and stick it around the T-joint just like this. And you don't have to stick it around the rotating parts, you have to stick it on the pivot, just like this. After joining the pivot and the paper, the T-joint has been completed. Now this joint can become any joint of the body. And this is the only craft that you need to know for making an action figure. So first, today we are going to be making the leg joints, and we are going to be completing the basic model of the leg. Before we start making the leg joints to complete the base model, I want to tell you that the joints that we are going to be making for the hips and the knees and the ankles should actually fit inside your reference drawing. This will make a better model overall. So first, I'm going to be making the first 2 hip joints of my model, and the hip joints would be the exact size of my reference drawing. So now I've finally completed my hip joints, and these are kind of reinforced hip joints because the leg joints will be supporting the whole upper body weight. So that's why I've made these reinforced joints, and these, by the way, are hollow from inside, as you can see. And I've made them in a special way so that one hip joint overlaps the other hip joint. They have every joint articulation the hip joint could have, and they perfectly fit in my reference body. Now we're going to be making the knee joints, which are going to attach right here. Now we're going to be starting the knees of the model, which are again going to be reinforced with extra paper because the leg has to support the whole upper body. So first we'll make a pivot, which is the same length as a character's knee, and also fits inside a character's knee. Then we will roll a small sheet of paper around the pivot, which is 2 to 3 meters less wider than the pivot. And then we will color the pivot in the color of our legs. In my case, it's blue.
Then I have also reinforced the joint with extra paper and a little bit of tape. Then I made the rolling tube for my knee joint, just like this one. So it will have two motion again, the swivel and the rotate. Then you have to attach this piece of card on the knee so it can swivel and bend properly, and you could also attach the ankle right here. Now I've completed both of my knees, and now I'm going to be starting with the ankle. After completing the ankles, they will look something like this. The only difference between the ankles and the knees and the hips is that in the knees the extra card goes down, like faces down, but in the ankles the extra card goes up. So we could attach the knees and the ankles just like this. So after completing the hips, the knees and the ankles, we are going to be starting with the assembly of the legs. So first you are going to be joining the hips with the knees. So first take any of your hips and any of the knees, and then you have to attach the rotating part of the knee with the inner part of the hips just like this. And while attaching the hips and the knees, be sure to align them to the drawing and then stick them both together. After sticking both the pieces, it will look something like this. Now add some cuts to the extra paper just like this, and then stick them to the pipe one by one. After sticking the pieces, it will look something like this. Now you have to cover this thing with extra paper so it stays tight, and now you have to do the same thing with these both. Now we are going to stick the ankles and the knees together. And by the way, the total length of the card in the ankle and the knee equals to the calf's length in your drawing. First you're going to make a tube of paper that fits inside the card of the ankle and also has the length of it, and stick these both things together just like what we did for the hip. And then you have to do the same thing with the knees card. After doing that, they will look something like this. Now you have to make a rotating part for the ankles card piece. After you make the rotating tube for the ankle, you have to stick the rotating tube of the ankle with the extra card side of the knee just like this with another piece of paper. After joining the two parts, it will look something like this. And now you can attach the knee and the ankle together just like this. And then you have to do the same thing with the other pair of knee and ankle. And then that's it, you have completed your leg skeleton.